My name's Keith Tonge. I'm the marketing manager at PMC, and we're here at the Indulgence Show 2017. And I have with me Peter Thomas, owner and chief designer, would you say, Peter? Or
Managing director, really.
Managing director at PMC. Yeah. So we're here to really promote our new product, which is the COR integrated amplifier, which is we believe is an exceptional piece of technology as well as a music making device. It has a beautifully, elegantly simple circuit. It's completely analog from start to finish. 95 watts per channel. Has an interesting feature whereby it has tone controls. And tell us a bit about tone controls, Peter. What was the purpose of the tone control?
Well, I mean, our background comes from the professional world, and of course every recording you've ever heard has gone through tone controls, or EQ circuits that they're called in the professional world. And we've always felt that using tone controls in the front room is always a useful feature to have if you've got a slightly dull or bright room, or a room that lacks bass or has too much bass. So it's a nice little gentle control that can just tweak it for you. In the past, tone control circuits were quite crude on audiophile products, and I think that's why they got a bad name. But these are professional circuits operated by motorized faders on the front, so you can sit in your favorite seat and adjust the balance of the amplifier to suit your taste. I mean, as far as PMC is concerned, I've wanted to build this amp for like 25 years. We've been producing electronics in the professional world all that time, but we've never produced a dedicated product for the hi-fi industry. This is a real, big plus for us, and is exciting for me. The circuit got developed many years ago through the need to have a very, very neutral and transparent amplifier for us to design our speakers, so that we knew that it wasn't the amplifier that was holding them back. We could hear what was wrong with the speakers. So that circuit got evolved over the last 5 years, and now we've turned it into a product which we're really excited about. Shows our products off well, and it also shows off other people's speakers off well. Gives them the best chance they've got to sound great.
And what's the retail on that?
It's £5,000. The first series will be produced in the Celebration silver colour, but the next batches will be available in black as well. So if you prefer something on the old darker side, black.
The darker side.
The darker side is the black model. But styling-wise, we wanted to produce something which was quite distinctive in its shape and look, but still had very much a sort of a hi-fi feel about it. So it has a sort of slightly retro feel about it. It's a good, solid build. Everything's milled from solid aluminium and anodised. We select all our components, match them. So everything's done by hand. It's not a process whereby we have the board stuffed overseas or whatever. We actually meticulously build everything here in the UK. That includes casework, boards, and components, etc., etc. So it's a really lengthy process to build one of these. Of course, when you get a COR amplifier, you actually get a builder's certificate to show you who's actually worked on it and who signed it off and who's tested it. So it is a handmade product with love, really, and that shows in its sound quality, because it does let music just flow through it. It doesn't have a character of its own. It's not imparting any coloration on the music, and we use the same design philosophy with designing and building the COR as we did with our loudspeakers. So basically, we're just trying to deliver you the purest form of music, and you feel music rather than hearing the equipment. We don't really want, it sounds a bit strange, but we really don't want you to hear our equipment. We want you to hear music, which is imperative.
And I think we've developed this amplifier very much like the way we develop our speakers, which is very much 50% measurement, 50% listening, and then reiterate and design it from listening tests, then measure it again, and you go around that loop all the time. And you end up with a product that actually measures really well but sounds really good. There are a lot of products, and that's why we designed it really, that measure great but they don't sound very involving musically, and then you've got the other products that sound quite involving but they don't measure very well and so aren't very neutral. So this is trying to forge those two things together into one product.
And what else have you got to show?
Also at the show we're focusing on the 25 series of loudspeakers. That starts with a compact 2521, the 22, 23, which is a small floor stander, which won Speaker of the Year last year, and then 2524, which uses a slightly bigger bass unit, floor stander, and then we've got the three-way 2526. We're also showcasing the Fact 8, which is the first of the floor standards from the Fact range. It's a two-way model, and of course PMC being also being a distributor, we distribute ranges of products from Bryston, the Canadian manufacturer of electronics. They've moved into producing record players, streamers, digital playback, DACs, and of course their world famous amplifiers, which are phenomenally popular. And then of course AVM, which is beautifully well manufactured German products from Mausch in Germany. And they have very, very flexible products, from small integrated amplifiers with streaming, CD, beautifully well engineered. Moving up from those, there's also a new preamplifier we've launched at the show. The PA 8.2 was a completely modular device. We have choice of different cards to put in it, whether you want a DAC, whether you want line inputs. It's completely flexible, and also has the benefit of having the choice of either tube or solid state outputs, and that's a stunning device actually. And we've got a model here for all to see in a crystal box, so you can see all the beautiful engineering within it.
And you've got a massive pair of speakers in one of the rooms with a Verter
Oh yes,
turntable.
Yep. That's the ultimate analog room. We've brought them to the show as a bit of a showpiece to show, let people hear how good music can be with absolute clarity. And they're a professional monitor used by mastering houses or recording producers, etc., etc. And they're phenomenally transparent, enormous amount of power, about 16,000 watts I think they are, so immense amount of power, huge amount of headroom and control. And that's plumbed in, as you said, to the Verter record player. And throughout the day we've given examples of how good music really can be.
It's interesting that our two industries, the professional world and the hi-fi world, they often don't mix, and we're just trying, because we work in both fields, we thought it was great to bring a speaker that people are used to using a recording studio, so people can hear the sort of standard that they're able to listen to when they're recording their favourite albums. And of course, and then obviously being able to couple that with a super turntable like the Verter, it's a wonderful room. The guys in there, I think, are having more fun than anyone playing their favourite albums.
we've got people cheering and clapping at the end of their favourite albums, so that's always a good sign, which is amazing, really. We've also been able to bring some professionals, friends of ours from the professional world, in to give talks about using our products when they produce some of the world famous albums and vinyl cuts, etc. So that's also been an absolute boon for us, having the Indulgence Show as a platform to be able to get that message out there as well. And also I think it's really important that people understand that that in the pro world it's just as important to them to produce beautiful music. There isn't that real divide between the pro world and the hi-fi world, because they all have the same aim, is to produce beautiful music
and make money
and to make a bit of money. Exactly, yeah. But amazing thing is, when you speak to the top guys in the professional world, as we do, their passion for music is just as much as the audiophile, and that's really why we think that you really can use the same loudspeaker right the way from composing music to recording to mixing to mastering and all the way through to the home, and that's our theory really. There shouldn't really be a different loudspeaker for all those purposes, and all our loudspeakers have, from the professional right the way through to the consumer products, they're all built in exactly the same manner, and they have the same tonal balance. So you are hearing it as it was in the studio rather than having an interpretation. And that is the way to connect closer to the music, and you actually feel what the artist intended rather than an interpretation, which we're not so keen on.